Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Avengers issue 44. And this was a different kind of conclusion to the whole Phoenix tournament than what I was expecting. It's not bad, I just thought it was going to follow more of a tournament style kind of thing. Because in the end, we see who the Phoenix actually chooses, and it really, the tournament kind of worked in the favor of trying to showcase what was going on. It's like, all right. It was just kind of weird end, and we'll kind of have to see how this kind of shakes out. So, we pretty much start, we see Cap and Black Panther duking it out. Cap pretty much trying to figure out what T'Challa's pretty much trying to do. He's like, tell me you're thinking of a way out of this, while also doing some interesting kind of fight things going on. Cap pretty much faking him out on certain moves and is like, hey, I need to be devious with you because you fucking need Logan in the junk. I'm gonna watch out for that. But as they're like going through and talking about what's going on, T'Challa is like, yeah, we need the Phoenix because everything kind of going on is reminiscent of what's going on with the Million BC Avengers. We've got our Starbrand, our Ghost Rider, now we're getting the Phoenix involved, so maybe we need the Phoenix for this. And talking about that kind of thing, like Cap, like it's really rare to be able to kind of control this kind of power because it usually goes out of control and does weird ass shit. Usually trying to burn like something to complete and utter dust. We then shift over and we start seeing like all other kind of people. We continuing their fights. We see Red Widow and Shanna, the She-Devil, fighting in New York Harbor. Red Widow pretty much like, yeah, I got this shit and shit. And I'm like, I'm called She-Devil for a reason. And she's like, whooping ass. We then shift over into Moscow and we see that She-Hulk is rammajamming fucking Namor like ain't nobody's business, while the Winter Guard is called in to attempt to deal with two Phoenix-empowered people, kind of just slamming it out in Moscow, attempting to do something, but we just see them completely and utterly ripping on each other, where She-Hulk, like, rips Namor's fucking arms off. He's like, yeah, I've used the Phoenix Force before, gets his arms back, and they then make, like, this giant kind of crater going on in there as well. Let's see. So that was a nutty kind of one. We then see that the Avengers are attempting to deal with what's going on. Moon Girl's pretty much trying to give them updates of what's going on, and that, like, Cap and Black Panther are, like, fighting on top of the mountain. Carol's like, this is getting fucking stupid. I'm gonna absorb what I can. Tony, you blast it what you can. And he evidently is linked up with the Celestial Body to do his kind of thing, saying that he's gonna, like, blast the duck and just keep it in place, kid. And then we see that Ghost Rider's pretty much got Hellfire chain wrapped around. He's like, hey, moving, Mr. Stark. While Thor's going nutso, being like, don't. It's my mother. And Jane's like, the all weapon's not going to hold him for long, and he's just saying crazy shit. I'm just like, I understand kind of Thor's frame of mind, but I kind of wish it was done a little bit better than him just completely going kind of nutso, screaming, blah, 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 it's my mother. I'm like, okay, we kind of need more context than that, because that thing's fucking doing some stupid-ass shit. And if you got some way to be like, hey, stop doing that fucking stupid-ass shit, tell the room, we're good with this shit. It's just like, alright. I understand, like, Thor's passion is an integral part of his character, but I think he would be trying to do other kind of stuff and would go to Jane and be like, that thing said it's my mom. Okay, how do we want to handle that? I don't know. So, we then get towards the end kind of part of the issue where the Phoenix is actually chosen, and it is Echo. And of course, they play it out so much throughout the issue, talking about how the Phoenix chooses people, that the Phoenix has all this strength already, so it's not looking for strength, it's not looking for winners, but definitely someone who is fallen. And of course, she was pushed by Namor and completely and utterly rafflecoptered. and that it looks for emotion, evidently, but it isn't clear on like what it means for the emotion, like powerful emotions. You know what I mean? Because if that's the case, they could have just been like, "Hey Thor, I'm your mama." Rah! Boom! Oh shit, Thunderbird. Because we had also seen that as Maya is like acquiring all the rest of the Phoenix Force, that the Million BC Phoenix Avatar ghosty thing is like, yeah, I'm your mother, and just know that you are the son of the Thunderbird. Because we see her taking it from Red Widow because she's pretty much getting into a kill situation with Shanna, and then Shanna's like, all right, just let me die, and then like, why's the power leaving me? It's mainly, I don't have a problem with someone getting the Phoenix Force. It's just how loose everything's going on with this, because it's like, oh, okay, the Phoenix has already chosen this person, so they are going around and like eating up all this stuff. It's just, I kind of wanted to, I don't need it spoon fed or smacked over my head, but a little bit more kind of stuff would have helped out. We see her get to Moscow, pretty much calm down She-Hulk and fucking beat the unholy hell out of Namor to the point where all the seawater was beaten out of him, and then Maya's like, hey, you better crawl to the salt water and shit, bro. And of course, we see the power leaving Cap and T'Challa, like, oh shit, it's already taken one. That's where we see Thor kind of like going and getting his last goodbyes with his mom, as we see Echo talking about how the Phoenix Force has never had someone like her who can pretty much echo any kind of style and whatnot with that much versatility in her repertoire. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Because she had used Atlantean style to whoop Namor's ass. So she pretty much gets it, talking about how it works within her people's mythology of like the Cheyenne, this like winged bird of change and all that. And that's something, okay, yeah, it's kind of cool. So we'll have to kind of see how this kind of works out with these little kind of birds flying around her. We see that Jean kind of gets in contact with, hey, it's cool, be okay, but understand that the Phoenix Force goes for loners. If you keep yourself alone like that, you'll probably lose your soul, so just reach out to people if you need it and everything, and just happy birthday, rebirthday, as we see her kind of like flying around and leaving like some little flame birds for baby Starbrand. So I at first liked this arc because I'm like, oh, tournament arc for the Phoenix Force, that'd be kind of interesting, seeing how everybody would kind of like utilize the Phoenix Force. It's just, it got to the point where you're like, okay, we don't understand kind of what's... I'm like, alright, this is pretty sweet. And then we get the whole Thor's mother is one of the previous Phoenix Force users. Okay. What are we doing with that? Alright, so we'll have to see how that thing shakes out. And just how... I understand, like, changing it up and trying to make sure that your whole kind of thing doesn't like follow the usual kind of tournament shonen kind of thing, but I'm just like, that was pretty much the whole kind of concept that I liked. I'm like, oh shit, let's see how these people utilize these powers and how is the Phoenix going to judge that. We never get that clear kind of goal of how the Phoenix is judging it, only like it's mysterious kind of ways kind of thing. Alright, so I was more excited for this in the beginning, and I don't hate this conclusion, but I just think a couple more execution points done a little bit better would have made this stick a little better. So we'll have to see kind of what the fallouts and ramifications are going to be for this, because evidently this leads into like the Heroes Reborn kind of thing, where the Phoenix kind of like rechanges the world into a weirder kind of state. So we'll have to kind of see how that shakes out and how the next issues kind of have to like bridge that or whatnot, because it deals with like blatant vampires and stuff, which I'm good for. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.